I believe that one of the more mysterious aspects of the Star Wars sequel trilogy has got to be the connections between both Snoke, Leia, and Luke Skywalker. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, we do know one thing about Supreme Leader Snoke is that he is indeed the individual who turned Kylo Ren to the dark side of the Force remotely. He's been watching over Kylo Ren / Ben Solo ever since he was a baby within Leia's womb. So looking at all of this, a lot of people have been wondering about Episode 9, Snoke's involvement in the film, and that is one interesting aspect for sure. Now, to my belief, at the very end of The Last Jedi, the Force Bond sequence being still active between both Kylo and Rey, I believe that could very well be a hint that Snoke is still alive. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc., one of which specifically has all to do with Luke, Ben Solo / Kylo Ren, and Supreme Leader Snoke himself. Specifically, a description of Luke Skywalker inside of a Jedi temple, that may be the one seen in The Last Jedi. Luke is walking through a hallway with a green lightsaber in his hand. It's described that echoes of voices are audible to Luke. The end of the hallway is dark, and eventually a figure forms showing an image or vision of Snoke himself. Luke's lightsaber is ignited now in response to a sense of danger, with Snoke wielding a lightsaber of his own. The blade is white, which means Snoke's crystal is pure. Luke walks to the Snoke figure and takes a swing for nothing to happen to Snoke. The last goes over Luke turning around with Snoke and Ben Solo side by side, showing Luke that he has turned his nephew to the dark side, and that he has failed. Snoke also shows Luke the crossguard hilt and hands it to Kylo, before the vision begins to fade. This could be a Force Bond sequence between the two characters, like with Kylo Ren and Rey in The Last Jedi. So I really wanted to go over this. Now, not only would this explain exactly how Luke Skywalker knows who Snoke is, but it would also give us a sense of why both Luke and Snoke have a grudge with each other. Now, if you guys actually read The Last Jedi novelization, there are little hints and little indicators that they actually crossed paths once before mentally, once they mentally connected and understood about the truth of the Force. So there's a lot of aspects within the sequel trilogy that are very mysterious right now, that are only somewhat explored in other forms of canon, like books and novels, etc. So I believe that this is obviously taking place after the destruction of Luke's Jedi Temple. I think that Luke is walking through the ruins after it was burned down, and that's why everything is dark in here, and an apparition of Snoke appears, the Force Bond between both Snoke and Luke Skywalker. That's an interesting thing for sure. Now, we do know that J.J. Abrams apparently is bringing flashbacks back into fruition here for Episode 9, something that he himself actually created for the Star Wars universe with The Force Awakens, and intends to bring it back in Episode 9, which is a great thing. Now, I know some of you guys out there are not too excited about the concept of flashbacks. To me, I think that they're great if they are of substance and kind of fill in the blanks within the Star Wars sequel trilogy and kind of give us a better idea and perspective on things for our main characters like Luke. And with all of this, I think that when we look at Episode 9, the fact that he's really trying to tie it all together with not just the prequels and the originals, but also by answering a lot of those burning questions in The Force Awakens that will actually be answered in Episode 9. So Luke's Jedi Temple, I don't know if you guys knew about this, but Luke kept it a huge secret. If you guys read the novel, he kept it a big secret. He only kept it to Kylo Ren, his Jedi students, and maybe even his sister Leia. So with that being said, alright, if we look at Luke Skywalker, this would absolutely explain as to why both Snoke and Luke have a grudge. Now, I don't know about you, but when I watch The Force Awakens, it seems like that Snoke is somewhat intimidated by Luke Skywalker himself, because he knows he is the seed of the Jedi Order. He is the one individual who could really bring out the truth about the Jedi and what it means to be a Jedi, And, you know, the fact that Luke is just the only hope in The Last Jedi, and that's what we saw at the very end of the film, is that he actually came back into battle and inspired the whole entire galaxy. And apparently a part of that will be the, you know, a piece of the Episode 9 plot is showing us how much the galaxy has been inspired by Luke Skywalker's sacrifice on Crate. So with that being said, this confrontation between both Snoke and Luke, Snoke wielding his own lightsaber, something that we have never seen to date in the sequel trilogy. Now, mind you, in the originals, Emperor Palpatine did not have a saber. However, he did in the prequel trilogy, which was something that was honestly very, very cool to see on the big screen. So if they really wanted to, they could make a prequel of the sequels where we actually do get to see the full story between a younger Ben Solo, a younger Snoke, the Knights of Ren. They could totally do something like that if they really wanted to. A whole entire story of Kylo Ren and his journey, hunting down Force sensitives, which, by the way, that's said to be a part of Episode 9. So I think when we're going into this movie, Snoke being this figure and kind of having these confrontations with Luke Skywalker could absolutely explain the grudge between the two. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.